Hey everybody, welcome to Go ADHD Go. My name is Johnny, and on this channel we give you the tips and tricks to help make life suck less, because let's face it, living life with ADHD can get pretty sucky sometimes. And one thing that makes life a lot less sucky for me is my ADHD medication, Vyvanse, also known as Elvanse in some countries. Vyvanse is an ADHD medication that works wonderfully for me. But there was one side effect that I experienced, and a side effect that I've heard other Vyvanse users say that they've experienced also, and that is it can make me feel anxious. So I stopped taking my Vyvanse, but not on purpose, but because I didn't realize that I was almost out. And when I was finally able to get an appointment with my psychiatrist, I had completely ran out for like 8 days. So yeah, that was a really awesome 8 days. 8 days with no medication. Oh, the fun that was had during that time. So much fun and crying, mostly crying. Oh, but it did end up being awesome, because when I went to my psychiatrist appointment and told her why I haven't taken Vyvanse in 8 days, she told me that I should, well, first, she called me a ding-dong head. Can't argue that. And then she suggested that when I got my Vyvanse prescription refilled and I started taking it again, that I should split my Vyvanse dosage for a week or so. Because going 8 days with no Vyvanse to back on a full dose all at once can be kind of wonky for some people. And since I am a delicate flower, I followed her advice and started splitting my Vyvanse, which meant for an entire week, I took half my Vyvanse in the morning and then the other half about 2 hours after that. And I noticed something during those 7 days that I was splitting my Vyvanse. That anxious feeling that I used to get, it had decreased drastically. It basically was non-existent, wasn't even there anymore. And after that week of splitting my Vyvanse, I could then go back on a full dosage again if I wanted to. But I didn't. I just kept splitting my Vyvanse every single day. And I've been doing it ever since for over 2.5 years. 2.5 years with hardly any of those anxious feelings like I used to get. It may sound weird, but running out of my Vyvanse was probably the best dumb thing I've ever done, because the result was learning how to split my Vyvanse. So you're probably wondering, how does one go about doing this Vyvanse splitting thing? Anyway, because Vyvanse isn't a solid pill, it's a capsule filled with super fine white powder. You can't just chop it in half. Judo chop out! So, here's what I do. Take a capsule, hold each end snugly between 2 fingers. Gently twist both ends to loosen it up. Slowly open the capsule. Dump half of the powder onto a small piece of paper. Then put the 2 ends of the capsules back together. Dump the powder into a glass of water. Stir and drink. Put the capsule back so you don't lose it. Oh, and don't knock over the glass. Oh, no. What the? Now, you don't have to dump the powder onto a piece of paper. You can dump it right into the glass if you want. But I use the paper because it's much easier for me to see how much powder I'm dumping out. Plus, sometimes you'll accidentally dump too much powder, and it's easier to scoop some powder back into the capsule off of the piece of paper than it is to scoop powder out of water, which is actually impossible because when it hits the water, it's gone, it's dissolved. Your SOL, which of course stands for... I don't even know what that stands for. Bobby, what does SOL stand for? Bobby! Really? Oh, well, I guess that's right. Oh, and after I drink the Vyvanse and water mixture, I like to set a timer on my phone to remind me in 2 hours to take the other half of my Vyvanse. You're gonna wanna set a timer, trust me, because you're gonna forget. And that's how I split my Vyvanse and got rid of all those anxious feelings like I used to get. What I learned is taking a full dose all at once seemed to be what was causing that anxiousness. But splitting a dose into 2 phases spreads a full dose out over a longer period of time. And my brain seems to be able to handle that much better. It's a slower buildup, hence no anxiousness. It's like if you were in a car and you hit the gas pedal and you went 0 to 70 miles per hour in 2 seconds, you'd freak out because that's a lot for your brain to handle. But if you go 0 to 70 miles per hour over a span of, say, 10 seconds, you're able to adjust to that increase of speed better because the increase is spread out over a longer period of time, so you don't freak out. Splitting my Vyvanse is like going 0 to 70 miles per hour in 10 seconds, whereas taking a full dose of Vyvanse is like going 0 to 70 miles per hour in 2 seconds. Wait a minute. In that video, that was my car. Who took my car? Bobby! Now, I know that some of you are asking, if you were feeling anxious taking Vyvanse, why didn't you just switch medications or take a lower dosage of Vyvanse? Well, I've tried other medications like Strattera, Concerta, Adderall XR, and Vyvanse is just a medication that works best for me. As for the lower dosage of Vyvanse, I tried that also, and it wasn't as effective for me. But now, it's all good. splitting Vyvanse, no more anxiousness. So if you experience that anxiousness with your Vyvanse, maybe splitting your Vyvanse might work for you. But first, as always, ask your doctor or psychiatrist. Always ask your doctor or psychiatrist before you do anything with your ADHD medication. So yeah, splitting my Vyvanse decreased that anxiousness. And feeling anxious was really the only bummer about taking Vyvanse. But now, no more bummer. And that has made life so much better. And when life is better, that makes us happy. And what do we do when we're happy? That's right, let's dance.